Good morning. Putting stuff together. Good morning. I missed you guys too. When allergy season hits, I get really bad postnasal drip sometimes, and like swelling in my eyes and face and mouth, and it's not the best. Oops, that's not what I was doing. I hope everyone had a good Friday though. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. No, I have energy. I just my throat it's irritating me. I took some more allergy medicine, and I definitely need to go see an ENT again. Um Today I yesterday I finished one test. I didn't have the energy to sew more than that. So I finished one test, and then I basically laid down all day and drank hot tea and soups. I felt it coming on Friday, so Friday night, no, on Thursday night, I had like some soup, and I was hoping that would do it, but no, unfortunately. I don't know if this happens on this channel yet. I think it has happened. When my voice starts to go, it goes in stages. One stage is that you'll hear it go in and out, and it kind of sounds like a robot, there's a vibrato with it. And then the second, I straight have like a baritone voice. Buenos dias. So yeah, like if you'll the longer you watch my channel, the more you'll see the different stages of my when I'm losing my voice. Like it's not completely gone. It's like the vibrato just changes. It's really weird. It's been like that since I was little. Like I would get laryngitis, and everybody would be like, "Wow, your voice has a nice bass sound to it." It's allergy season, and there's so much tree pollen in Maryland right now. It's not even funny. And I'm allergic to most trees. So yesterday, the Chubby Tote was released, and it's getting a lot of good reception. A lot of people like it. Um, I do like kind of challenge people that are more advanced, or not beginners, to do it and try to make modifications to it that you would like a slip pocket, a zipper pocket, a welted pocket, recessed zipper, exterior pockets, side connectors, uh, like a false bottom, because that the Chubby Tote to me is a perfect pattern to have, so you can learn how to up your skill game into creating a better bag. I love, like, I never listen to something saying beginner bag. I always look at it as it's a challenge. Oh no. Yeah, the weather has been super wonky. I'm born and raised in California, and I promise you, the last 2 days in Maryland felt like it had Santa Ana winds, and we're not anywhere near Santa Ana. And this the Santa Ana winds used to mess up my voice all the time. Howdy, Terry. Yeah. I have like also chronic sinusitis. So I've been diagnosed with that since I think I went on my own at 18, because I never understood why I would have so much facial pain. And then I'll have like like my nose is swollen, my eyes are swollen. I didn't understand. And it's to the point now that if I know my sinuses are inflamed and I have pain and mucus for more than 3 days, more than 10 days, my ENT has it where I can fill my own prescriptions for antibiotics, because he knows I'm reluctant to antibiotics. And if the antibiotics don't work, then I go in and I have to get steroid shots and all that fun jazz. I hate sinusitis, because if the older I get, the more I feel like I have allergies in my, like, not allergies, but like arthritis in my face. So um on Thursday I did a live with Rosie and Susie, and I made this cutie. I made the the mini box tote, and I did a couple of just small modifications. Instead of doing the edge painting around the side, I bound it, and I really like the way that turned out. Um, both tabs have, if I can get the other one out, both tabs have zipper ends that I have. Thank you. And I know it's I like it because it at Awesome Con there's going to be a lot of Doctor Who fans there, because I believe the ninth Doctor and Rose are going to be there, and the newer Doctor, the female Doctor, is going to be there. So I'm really excited. So I haven't seen a lot of doctors in one place for over like 5 years. So I'm really excited about this. So I wanted to give like different price ranges. Like I would sell this bag probably for like 95 to 110 depending on the material. Thank you. And then I made also an NCW, but I have no idea where it is. But it was fun sewing with them. Um, they're funny. They're just good people. I forgot to put a tag in one of my on my wallet though. I always forget one thing. I need to have like a checklist, like check Shinova, make sure you put a tag. Check Shinova, make sure you put all your notes and post-its within that file. So yes, I have, there's actually 4 or 5 tests that I need to complete. So my goal is to finish 2 tests today, finish one up tomorrow, and then take pictures of all the bags. I finished one yesterday. And then the 5th test I will do on Monday when it's more quiet and there's not a lot of people in the house. I have to do a lot Monday through Thursday because Friday we have people coming in to fix the bottom stair case of our house and our deck. So we'll have a lot of people in here. So I won't be able to film anything or actually really focus, because how they're going to get access to that stair is by going into the mini closet that's right off my sewing machines. So that's going to be fun. And then Loki gets his stitches out next Friday, and I'm really excited. I did notice his energy's up, and it's making me so happy. Like when I took him for a walk yesterday, he was prancing, like he wanted to play. So like he grabs his leash and he wants to do tug of war, and he's like, I swear that dog always smiles when he's prancing. He's like pouncing around everywhere, and he's so happy. It's a different energy that he had the past couple weeks, and like his wound is healed. Like he's super happy now. With him being happy, I know he's feeling better because he's trying to jump on stuff. We're still saying no until Friday. He still he still gets creative, but we do. I'm not going to even lie to you. Kendall and I both have this bad habit. Like we will, because if you walk him outside or if you walk him in the backyard or in the house, he's supposed to be on a leash so you can control him jumping on people. So I'll usually take him upstairs to my room when I'm done, and I'll put some pillows down, and we will just sit and watch TV on the floor. And Kendall does the same thing. Like him and Kendall were asleep on the chase last night. Um, it's really hard for us to keep him in the crate because one, he talks a lot, and he's very vocal when he's not happy. Um, two, we we're 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 given parents. Like my son did not want to take out the trash cans and pull them back into the from the curb for the house, and he finally did it, but it was after like 35 minutes of negotiating with him that he's not getting his tablet until he finishes his chores. And then all he had to say is, "Mom, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Okay, here's your tablet." We're not the best punishers. Like, or like we're sticking to the rule. We're not letting Loki jump on anything, but we're not really good punishers. It's hard. We give in. Like as soon as a kid gives us like the doe eye, we're like, okay. You can learn. You can watch anyone. A lot of people sew on domestics. If you like Ora Rosa bags, if you like um if you like Ararosa bags, lavender and twine, bag stock, all these designers, most of them sew on a domestic. And when you see me sew on my 5550, that is a Juki QVP Mini, which is considered a domestic machine or a semi-industrial. But the people at Juki told me it's more of a domestic because there are some computerized parts like the thread cutter and whatnot. Um, so you can watch anyone. It's about knowing tools and knowing your machine. So you should be able to watch absolutely anyone, even leather workers. And yeah, Sally Tomatoes is on a semi-industrial, domestic. Most people are. Um, Even if you see someone that's on a free arm, you can learn tips, tricks, and skills from anyone, any video. Before I bought my industrial, I would watch other people on industrials all the time and just copy certain things that they do. And I had to be aware of what my machine can and cannot take. I learned how to put my machine on a wood block so that way it could become a free arm. It's just learning tips and tricks around the way. But most of these designers out here sew specifically on a domestic machine. Like the people that I was testing for yesterday, we were in a group and we were talking about who sewed on an industrial, who sewed on their semi-domestic or domestic, and like I sewed the bag that I'm going to be showing when that bag comes out on my smaller Juki and partly on the Bernina because the electrical box was getting something done to, so I went upstairs and just sewed it on the Bernina. It just knowing what your limits are. Everybody has limits, even on industrials. Because like I cannot stress this enough. Just because you can sew over a seam doesn't mean you should sew over the seam. Bulky seams are bulky seams, no matter what. You had snow? That's crazy. It's been like a little bit of a heat wave over here, and I am not feeling it. I did get my underground box, and I must say I really like their color orange. I'm gonna be making these bags, and they had some zippers, so I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be making some Ahsoka bags, and I wanted some orange and yellow accents. And their nylon is way thicker. Thank you, Cindy, for mentioning that. They have a luxe nylon. It is extremely more thicker than this. This kind of reminds me of water resistant canvas, but not like it's not quite waterproof canvas and it's not quite water resistant. It's like a happy in between. I got them in all cool colors, and then I even picked up. They have some of the bindings that matches their color. So I thought I didn't get a whole lot. I got like 4. See? It matches. Good morning. Yeah, and definitely I would say watch a variety of people. Like I like watching the Sally Tomato team because they don't usually follow the same kind of sewing guidelines that we place on ourselves in the sewing world. I love watching Sew Sweetness because she gives a lot of tips and tricks. But Crafty Gemini, like there's so many. It's interesting because I know a lot of people think that most of the bag YouTubers sew on a industrial. No. What you're noticing are people that are most popular. But even with that, really think about it. Jess Oakleroots is one of the most popular YouTubers. She sews on her Bernina. Most people sew on the domestic of some sort. It's just learning tricks. And I noticed even people that sew on industrials, they'll give tips when they're sewing on a industrial what will work for a domestic. Like I will be like, I wouldn't make this with waterproof canvas, or I would do coat cotton or whatever. Like most people will give tips. And if you have a hump jumper, a nice sharp needle, there's a lot that you can achieve. Good morning. So yeah, today I'm gonna take it easy. I have a few testing bags I need to do. I have one more thing I have to film. I Nova's Notion that I have filmed. I need Kindle just to put the sound, the like to put the intro and outro, and hope change the intro and outro of some of the things for me this week. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I'm hoping to get some videos done on Monday. I'm trying to get my mock-up for my yeah, it all well, I actually my Bernina, I'm tall and my farm table sits kind of high, so I'll just sit there and sew on it. It's just there's no room to put cameras up and watch me because if I'm on the main level of the house, that means pretty much everybody else is. That's why I'm there. Yeah, but there's so many. The more you look, the more you'll find out that a lot of the famous YouTubers, like even Crafty Gemini, she sews on a Juki, like it's a domestic. And she actually sells them in her in her business too. A lot of them have it. Lazy Girl Sews, when they have numerous people sewing for them, they're all doing it on domestic. So it's just, yeah, you should, yeah, we'll go. I mean, look at, again, Crafty Gemini does it. Okla Roots, Lavender and Twine. Most of the designers that I sew for, so Sarah So Sweetness, they all sew with a domestic. And most designers, like when Not a Thread was on here, someone asked her about it. When they do testing, from domestics to heavy duty industrials. It's nothing in between. So it's a limitation that's in one's heart and mind, that if you can overcome that, your bags will be impeccable. Because no one could tell me Erica from Lavender and Twine's bag are not amazing because they're impeccable and they're made on a domestic. Yeah, she's on a regular, yeah, just a regular Juki, and she sells them in her shop as well. And then I think Sally Tomatoes is on an HD9 or whatnot. And then yeah, most of them, like it's harder to find. It's People think it's easy to find industrials. It's just because of the groups that you're in. So for every person that sews on an industrial, I can give you like 3 or 4 names of a person that sews on a domestic. And then on top of it, my perspective is, as a tester, I see what these designers do. They have people sewing on like old singers to people that sew on a free arm. And they're doing it on purpose so that they won't sell you something that you're going to be like, I can't sew. When a designer does come out and say, hey, they don't recommend it, then that's when that's with anything. Like there's designers like, dude, I don't recommend you sew this on an industrial. It's going to eat your feed dogs. It's not a limitation. They're trying to give you a warning so that you don't waste material. There's very, very few patterns I've came across within the last 2 years that said do not sew on a domestic. The first one being the Hitchhiker. When the designer came out, she said that she finds it's because of how tight the spots are and how much material you can go through. She didn't recommend it. And then Create Joy actually did it on a domestic, and she just did second rows of stitching on everything, and hers is like the best the best Hitchhiker bag I've ever seen. Um, and then there was a bag that was a computer case, and I'm forgetting the name of the person. She did not recommend it because there's a part when you sew over the straps and the handles, they're so thick that a domestic machine would struggle. And the other one was from Not a Thread, the Mayfield. But then the Mayfield got proved left and right with people sewing them on domestics. It's about the limitations you have in here and having tools. Having tools can help you out tremendously. Um, and practice. Practice makes progression. And look at another person, Country Cow. Country Cow's bags. If you just look at her bags, even when she makes someone else's bags, they're amazing. Her husband sews on the fabricator, but she usually sews on some kind of Bernina or domestic. Most designers out there sew on a domestic machine because they know that that's the audience that you generally has. That's what they have more in the population. Yep, more people have domestic, and I'm telling you, like, I sew for a lot, a lot. Look, Backstock, Namira, she sews with the domestic. When she has her team, half of them are on domestic, and the other half are on different industrials. And when I say different industrials, they even venture out with that. Like the 5550 is considered an industrial, but honestly, if you were to call any Juki dealer, they'll tell you it's the QVP Mini. If you call them like, "Hey, I want to get the 5550 and I have a Juki QVP Mini," they're going to be like, it's technically the same machine except one has a servo motor and one doesn't. Yeah, and yeah, and and the thing is, I got my domestic for again. I think my the reason why I got a domestic is the most hilarious thing ever because my first domestic was the 1541S. It wasn't to get over seams because I believe if a seam is bulky, just because you sewn over, it's not going to flatten out. I don't like bulky seams. I think it can make it look not as professional as could be. I follow the instructions when they're like keep the interfacing out of the seam allowance. Yep, no matter if you have an industrial or domestic, you do that, and I feel like your bag just gets elevated. I got my domestic because of thread. For me personally, thread color and weight, I feel like it makes my bags. That's just me, and I know a lot of people. Hold on. A lot of people may not feel that way. I have that frog. A lot of people may not feel that way, but that's me. I'm weird. If you look behind, if you were able to look behind me, I have tons of thread color. I couldn't get this thread. Look how thick that is. This is a 210. I couldn't get this in my Juki 15, my 5550. It would only go, it actually only works really well on the 1341. But I like thicker threads. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. Um, it's really weird. And I can even one up you. My 5550 does not like anything that's not 40 weight. If it's above 40 weight, my machine does not do it. But then Monica has the same machine as me and she uses 70 weight in it. I don't know how she does it. I have done everything, changed my needles, my stitching. My machine will not take it. So everyone, I literally think my 5550 is just a domestic with a cool servo motor. That's why I do most of it on there, most of my sewing, if it's not cluttered with things on the table and if I have the thread color. Yeah, do it. Do it hollow. Once you do it, you understand why my fascination with thick threaded. Like, I don't know. If you go on to, if you're in That's So Nova group, or if you follow me on Instagram, just go through my bags. You'll see when I choose to have thicker thread. I showed you guys with the Tiny Quilted Beast, the black one that everyone loved. That was with 40 weight thread on my 5550 because I wanted the thread to merge into the crocodile print. So, and I wanted a thinner thread. It just that's always been a thing to me. Even when I quilt or do free motion quilting, you'll be so weirded out how like it's not the fabric or rolling it or getting ready, it's the thread for me. That is like, I think thread's my favorite notion and tool. Yeah, it all depends on what you want. And like personally, I think I was going over all my tutorials and like I think in October this year will be my 2-year anniversary for YouTube. Um I was going through because I was uploading stuff on my channel. Um and I was able to filter out because I usually put in the description box if I'm what machine I'm sewing on, which I will start sewing on the 1341. I'm hoping as soon as next week at the latest, the following week, where I will do a tutorial on it. But most of my videos are off of the 5550. I have about 6 videos off of my Bernina. Um, so I have like I just do a little bit of mixture. Hey, Dalva. I do. I like dainty thread too. Um, and I always have them on in my face. Like I was sewing with it yesterday, Amon. I always have Amon Saba thread. I swear to gosh, I need stock in this stuff. This thread to me is amazing. I would think it's like the Aurifil of polyester thread. That's everyone likes Aurifil because of the many colors. You can match so many things, and that's how I feel about Saba thread. I know when Wawa sees my order, they're like, "Yeah, Chanel's gonna have some Saba thread in there." Um, always 40 weight. And but yes, this is my new one. I was doing a Mandalorian bag the other day, and I was like, "Yes, look how thick this thread is." I'm I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, it all I like to work with 90 weight and above, and it's all about thread. If I'm going to be doing contrast stitching, I want thicker thread because that's my favorite thing on bags. Like if I look at a Dooney and Burke or a Coach or anything that's high end, when they have like a saddle brown or like a solid color, their thread becomes like a feature. Yeah, I know. I used to, there's a Mando bag that I made out of messenger bags 2, 3 years ago, and they were like my favorite thing to make. So I'm trying to make a Sabine and Mando. Yeah, I always say it wrong. Every time I say I'm gonna call them, I don't call them. They're so they're like right next door, and I haven't called them. Oh yeah, my that I get most of my credit card slot um interfacing from them. I buy it by the rolls. Of course, double-sided tape. They carry heavier thread too. I didn't realize that until the last time I ordered when I went through their industrial my voice is cracking. Industrial thing that they have it too. I like size swags thread, but the reason why I go to Waywack is it's purely for convenience, and I love Saba thread. Um, I have a few of size swags thread colors as well. Yeah, the next time I definitely order from Emmeline, which is probably won't be until June or July. Yeah, because I go off of hardware. Um, I'm definitely going to order some of her thread, but my go-to is Wawak because most of the time when I have a project, I need the thread like ASAP and I can get it the next day. Oh, I did get my thank you Jenny for letting me know that my handmade space had my faux black. Look how matte this is. Oh god, I love this stuff. I wanted if I had the money I would have bought like 80 rolls. This is like my favorite faux black. Optipop. Wawak. I don't think I'm still saying it right. Yeah, Amon is my thing. I'm telling you. I have Amon Text 90 like in my machine right now. So, um Amon is my thing. Amon and Amon's little sister group Saba thread are my favorite. My actual favorite of all time thread is from oh my god, Superior Threads. I just can't afford them. So what I usually do is like once a year, and it's usually after a Comic Con, I'll buy $200 worth of thread. And you're like, ooh, Shanova, $200. Like, no, I'm getting like 5 threads. Um, but they're the only thread I've ever experienced no lint, no like splitting, no fuzzies, no nothing. Their thread is literally their name. Superior Threads thread is amazing. I know, Jenny. Trust me. If I did get a sale yesterday, but the my down The downfall about Etsy is when you get a sell on Etsy, they're not there on Saturday and Sunday. So my sell portion, which this is the most hilarious thing, they're not there on Saturday and Sunday, but they use those days against you for shipping, and they don't release your money until 2 o'clock on Monday. If I trust me, I would buy so much hurt that I'm not trying to enable because everyone has a different financial thing. I'm being quite candid with you. I just don't have the money. um, Loki, like, but yes, it's not very thick, and it sews over really nicely. And every time I make a bag with this, and the other color that I love from her is moss green. I want to try their light blue. Um, I always get praised in those bag sales because it's a beautiful color. Hey, and it's great. I like when vinyl's good for domestic and industrial, because I've done it both on my Juki 5550 and my 1541, and it's fabulous. And that back of that adheres so fast to Decaville heavy, light, Thermolam, all of that. Oh, so I also got, but I don't have it here. I talked to So Many Creations, and she gave me the go to make the Jane wallet. I love So Many Creations. I love her vinyl. I mean, her quirks. I love her personality. Her and her husband are freaking adorable. Um, she's teaching at so many places right now. She will be at the So Magical and all these different things. She has a pure heart, and she's just like one of those people that are happy because she appreciates everything in life, and it's something that I truly admire. So she gave me she's like, you can do any of my bags. I have a tendency, even if a lot of designers tell me that, I still always ask in case something changes. So the Jane wallet is something I'm trying to get done within the next 2 weeks, because I think it will be a good craft seller, or like just sellers on Etsy or Shopify. Ugh, Jenny, stop. Don't tell me that. I'll be like, I just need to sell my kid real quick. Be fine. It's really good. The green mosses too. I'm really, like, literally, Jenny, I told my husband about you, and he was like, that's what your community is about. I'm like, she was so amazing. She didn't have to tell me that. You didn't have to tell me. And I did Cyberstock, and then she also got my orange cork. She's the only one that I get this color from. It is just the best orange. I love her packaging. She made sure I kept the box. So I wanted to show someone, like, when she stacks them all in these really cool boxes, and I'll keep these boxes in case I do. I get a lot of noodle head bags, and these actually go in there, like the range backpack. Instead of folding the wax, I roll it in here. And she even has like styrofoam so that they weren't bouncing around. So I was like, that is super cool. Did I give a status on? Okay. Yeah. Dude, the Bonita one was laughing. I am Bonita. That my daughter always says that, hope or like side bombastic side eye. She'd be like, bombastic side eye. I'm like, I can't. Yeah, you should. Oh, Loki, the stat. Oh, Loki. He's doing really good. He's prancing more. He should have been a show dog. I mean, it's not too late, but he's really. When I was walking him, the BG&E guys were there, and he will look, and they're like, "Oh, is he gonna come?" And I'm like, "Do not engage." And he'll just sit down and just look at them until we walk on. Kids just want to throw their arms around him, and he's just like wagging his tail, not moving, and just like letting them do whatever. He's doing really good, and he was prancing, trying to pull his leash and like dancing around. So yeah, he's trying to jump up more. So, but I'm like really happy that Friday's coming to get his stitches out, because I think he's like 75% there. But our crate parents. We are not. I mean, we do put him in the crate at night and when he's getting fed, but most of the time it's either me or Kendall or Faith will have him in the leash in the house, and we'll just grab, like, we have this old sofa cushions that are not part of our new sofa, and we'll put them on the floor and we'll just sit down with him because we don't want to stick him in the crate. Even we have a humongous crate, and I'll show you guys a video. It's like huge, and he can walk pace and full back and forth. It's just that he's there, and we hate bird caging him. So when we first got him as a puppy, he would just cry in the crate, and so the vet was like, put a blanket over the crate and bird cage him. And I was like, I'm not gonna bird cage him. It's but that's the only way he'll fall asleep in a crate is if we put like a blanket over the front. But we can't do it over the whole thing because it gets hot. He's a big boy. That dude produces so much heat. But he's funny. Like I'll show you yesterday when I put him in the cage and he wasn't talking to me, he'll like start moving his head on the side like you failed me, human. So he kept doing this and I was like, why is he doing this? Loki's funny. He's he's hilarious. Yeah, Loki. Do you see how big the cage is? Like he's laying across it and there's so much room. Like you could fit another dog in there easily. And it has like this really cool tent thing. He never thinks about climbing up and popping off the tent. I don't know why. But yeah, we're not great parents. It's just we're not. He's so cute. He's so adorable. Like, I don't know. I love that dog so much. Like him and Faith. So it was like raining a little bit, and Faith was like, I'm not gonna walk him. Um, I was like, if you're gonna walk him in the backyard, just go and do it real quick. And she was like, no. So we just basically been just hanging out in front of the house. And just hanging out with him. Sorry, my throat just like not the business. We've just been hanging out with him. Making sure he doesn't jump on the couch, the beds, or anything. He's with Kendall right now. Kendall's giving cans to the food drive. So he loaded up all the cans in the back, and then he put Loki in the front seat so he can give to the food drive. He is a little dapper dude. Yeah, those shirts that was a bad call on Kendall. Now, did he look cute in the yellow and black one? Yes, he looked like a bumblebee. And I was like, you're the most cutest thing ever. However, those were a double XL for dog sizes. And it went like it was so tight, it kept rolling down. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pull the elastic out of it. You know how you could pull the elastic out of your collars and stuff? So I was trying to pull the elastic out of it and it just didn't fit. I was like, Kendall, I am not trying to cut my dog out of a bumblebee outfit. Yeah, he has like his little shirts because the shirts are really cool because they roll down by his leg so he can't get to his incision. But I was like, I don't understand why we're trying to do that at this point. Because when he had the surgery the first time, they did the incision right below his rib cage and then they neutered him in the same thing. Now, his neuter entrance, he has easy access to it. That's why he has to wear the cone of shame and sorrow. And I understood the pajamas then, but he can't, there's no way physically possible for him to like move his rib cages up to allow him to get to that spot. So we just have the cone there. Well, he's an inflatable one, so I know he's way more happier with that than that plastic thing. And he sleeps on it. It's like his face gets all fat. It's super cute. His little jowls. He's a good boy. Yeah, so he's going to the church with Kendall real quick to deliver some canned food. Yeah, and then pretty much everyone's gonna just want to pet him. It's crazy because at first I was trying not to have them as in outside in the public because you know when dogs have that like medicine in them that can make them sleepy, they can do something that they don't mean to. That's what I think. But he's been a good puppy. He's so stitches out on Friday, and his wound looks good. We have to check it in the morning and at night. Check his gums, which I'm still not used to doing that. He's still on antibiotics. He'll be on antibiotics until Monday. Yeah. Oh yeah, and he ate through his Kong leash. Oh my god. So Kendall fell asleep and Okay, I have this thing with leashes, right? I don't like metal ones because if he pulls and it goes through my hands or whatever, I just don't. I'm not a fan of metal chains. So you know how they have the Kong toys? They're meant for dogs who destroy things. They don't destroy that easy. They had a leash. So I got him the leash when he was 6 months, and it has all these cool handles. Like it has a handle, a loop, like 5 inches from the collar. It has a clip thing in the middle. Has a Kong thing where it flops over, where you can put like the doggy bags for walking. And then it has like a really cool leash where you can twist it around your arm and it can tighten up on your arm to help with resistance. I freaking love that leash, and I got it on sale. He chewed through it, and he was like, "I was asleep." I'm mad about that. Yes. The cones, they hurt for like, as humans, like, all of us had bruises all over our leg because he just barreled through us, and it's not like he weighs 5 pounds. So we're like, okay, if he was going up or down the stairs, we would just let him go in front of us because we're like, I don't want to get hit with the cone. But the balloon is a little bit more easier. It's a little bit more funny because he still is not knowing how to navigate with it. So sometimes he bounces off a wall, and it's like the funniest thing because he's not getting hit in his head or shoulder. It's just his neck. So I think that's funny, but he's pretty used to the inflatable one. I really appreciate everyone who mentioned those because it's pretty cool. Yeah, no, they need to do a better cone. And then, like, because he was such a big dog, I think his cone was like the 40-inch diameter. And yeah, it wasn't the best. I was like, I don't think he can reach anything with that, sir, ma'am. Can we try to change it out? The vet is being awesome. They keep calling and checking, and we're sending him pictures via email, and he's doing way better. Like, it's closed. There's no redness, there's no swelling, there's not that one like pouch thing I was telling you about. So I'm really excited about that. He's a good boy. So that's pretty much it. I'm hoping I can get 2 tests done today, but they both look like they're relatively faster sows, so I'm confident I can. But I'm also going to take it easy. If I feel like weak or whatever after the first one, I'll go lay down and then do the rest. Um, they're home. Kendall's feet and his feet, they're bigger when they walk. Oh, the Jane, is it the Jane wallet? Hold on, I'm just double check. I bought cork from her too. Yeah, the Jane Cork wallet tutorial. So I'm hoping that either this week coming up or the next that I do that, because I'm really excited to bring one of her. So I hope everyone has a really good day, and you have fun. If it's hot outside, you're able to get some sun or whatever, or you were like, no, curse the heat. Stay in nice cool places, and everyone get some sewing done. Thank you, Delva. I'm gonna get some stuff. My voice sounds weird, but you guys will see it's gonna progressively get weirder. There's at one point where my husband's like, "You sound like a man." Totally Miley Cyrus thing. So everybody have a really good day, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye. Loki, are you bird calling?